Okay, so like imagine this. You're a company and you're so successful that your competitors, they actually start coming to you asking to become clients.
Well, that's...
Sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
But that's what's happening right now with CAMS.
That's right.
This financial powerhouse we're talking about.
Yeah.
They are dominating India's financial services platform.
Uh-huh.
And today we're going to do a deep dive into their Q3 FY25 earnings call. And let me tell you, the story is even more fascinating than that headline.
It really is. They're like setting the standard. I mean, it's amazing to watch.
I love that. And to really unpack how they're doing it, we've got like this treasure trove of information.
Oh, yeah.
The official earnings call transcript, we got investor presentations, press releases, and even all those super detailed auditor reports.
Wow.
So think of this deep dive as like your cheat sheet to understanding how CAMS is achieving the success.
That's right.
But also, you know what it means for your financial decisions
Oh, yeah.
in this world that is constantly changing.
Absolutely. Because I think what they're doing is having a ripple effect
Yeah.
throughout the whole industry, so we can learn a lot from CAMS and how they're adapting and how they're being so successful.
Exactly. So let's start with the headline that everybody's talking about.
Okay.
CAMS is just crushing it.
Yeah.
Their revenue's up by a huge 27.6% year over year.
It's impressive.
Now, that alone is really impressive, but you have to remember the market overall
Yeah.
is actually slowing down right now.
Yeah, that's what makes it so impressive. They're not just,
Right.
riding the wave. Everybody else is struggling and they're thriving.
Yeah, and what's remarkable is that it's not just that they're benefiting from, like a rising tide or anything like that.
Right.
Their strategic diversification is actually playing a key role here.
Uh-huh.
While their bread and butter, their main thing that everybody knows them for is the mutual fund business.
Right.
And that remains strong. It's the non-mutual fund revenue that's really catching a lot of people's attention. It's growing at a really healthy 22%, which shows that they're not just a one-trick pony.
Yeah, they're not a one-hit wonder. They've got all these different aspects to their business.
But we're seeing steady growth across multiple segments.
Yeah.
That's got to be a good sign
That's a great sign.
of a company that's really thinking about the long term, right?
Absolutely. That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
The company, you want to see them thinking ahead, and they're doing a great job of that.
Okay, so let's talk about their profit a little bit, their PAT.
Okay.
And that's profit after tax for, the people out there that haven't memorized all their financial acronyms.
Right, of course.
But it's up over 40% year over year now. That is what I call efficiency.
That's incredible.
So we've got this booming revenue,
Yeah.
these soaring profits, but wait, there's more.
Oh, there's more.
This is where it gets really interesting. It's not just that they're winning new business.
Right.
They're actually pulling clients away from their rivals.
Oh, wow.
It's almost unheard of in this industry.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. They snagged all 3 of the new mutual fund client mandates just this last quarter.
That's a clean sweep.
It's a clean sweep.
Wow.
And on top of that, they even managed a client migration
No way.
from a competitor.
That's almost unheard of, like you said.
So they're not just attracting new players to the game.
Right.
They're converting the competition.
Wow.
What is their secret weapon?
Well, I think the CEO actually dropped some hints during the earnings call.
Oh, okay.
And, it's not just about having cutting-edge technology, although they definitely have that.
Yeah.
But he emphasized their rigorous business controls.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they have such a low incidence of consumer complaints. And their seamless integration of services like KYC.
Yeah.
Know your customer and their payments.
Okay, so it sounds like they're offering a very smooth and hassle-free experience.
That's right.
From start to finish.
From start to finish, and that's what people want.
Is that what's making clients leave their other, providers and come to CAMS?
Well, I think it's definitely a major factor. You
Yeah.
know? Nobody wants to deal with a lot of hassle.
No.
And then here's another interesting thing, CAMS charges more for their services.
Really?
They charge a premium.
Okay.
And, in a competitive market, you would think that companies would be undercutting each other on price.
Right.
But CAMS is proving that clients are actually willing to pay more for quality and reliability.
So it's like they're the Apple of financial services.
Yeah.
They've built this reputation
That's a great analogy.
for excellence, and people are happy to pay a premium for it.
Absolutely. They know they're going to get quality.
Okay, so they're crushing the competition, it sounds like.
Yeah.
But the earnings call, it wasn't all sunshine and roses.
No.
There was this whole mystery around this thing called yield pressure.
Right.
And the analysts, they were really grilling the CEO about this potential yield compression.
Yeah, this is a big topic of conversation because it's legitimate concern. Yield compression. Basically, it means that their profit margins on their services could shrink,
Right.
even if their revenue stays strong.
Okay.
It's complicated. There's a lot of moving parts. But basically, some analysts are worried that KMS might have to lower their fees
Okay.
to stay competitive,
Yeah.
as new players come into the market.
So it's like a potential squeeze on their profitability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can see why the analysts were a little concerned about that.
Yeah. So what did Canvas have to say about this?
Well, they assured investors that they are actively managing this pressure.
Okay.
They even hinted that they might do some strategic repricing for some clients.
What does that mean?
Well, that means they might adjust pricing structures or introduce new service tiers
Okay.
to, better align with client needs and, of course, maintain those profit margins.
But how does that affect clients that are already paying a premium?
Well, that's a great question, and we actually heard the CEO address that directly during the Q&A portion.
Oh.
He said they are committed to minimizing any discrepancies and making sure everything's fair for the existing clients.
Okay.
He even mentioned that they're working on creating a more consistent and transparent pricing structure for everybody.
Oh.
So that should help alleviate those concerns about people, being treated unfairly.
So it sounds like they're walking a tightrope here a little bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They're trying to balance the need to keep growing,
Yeah.
but also the need to maintain that profitability and keep their clients happy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough balancing act.
Yeah.
But so far, they've been doing a great job.
Yeah, because even though they're the top dog right now,
Uh-huh.
things can change really quickly in the financial world.
You never know what's going to happen next.
So we've covered a mutual fund side of things,
Yeah.
which is obviously a major strength for Cam.
Huge strength, yeah.
But what about their other ventures, the ones that they're calling their evergreen growth engine?
Well, that's where we'll delve next,
Okay.
into the world beyond mutual funds.
All right, I'm ready.
And trust me, it's just as exciting.
I'm all ears. So we know that CAMS is like the king of the hill when it comes to mutual funds in India,
Yeah.
but they're not just content with sitting on that throne, are they?
Not at all.
Yeah.
You know that evergreen growth engine we talked about?
Yeah.
That's where things get really exciting.
Okay.
They're branching out, expanding their horizons beyond those mutual funds
I'm intrigued.
into this whole ecosystem of financial services.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
So think about it like they're building this one-stop shop for all your financial needs.
Yeah.
We talked about CAMS Pay before, their payments platform.
Right.
And it saw crazy growth this quarter, a 53% jump in revenue.
53%.
Wow, that's even bigger than their mutual fund growth.
It is. It's huge. And it's because of this perfect storm of different factors.
Like what?
Well, first, you've got this overall trend of digital payments just exploding in India.
Yeah.
People are ditching cash and embracing those mobile wallets,
Yeah.
CPI, all
Yeah.
those different digital payment options. I mean, that makes total sense. That's definitely how things are moving. I rarely use cash anymore.
Exactly. And CAMS Pay is in a perfect position to really capitalize on this trend.
Yeah.
They're not just offering like this basic payment gateway. They've built a really comprehensive set of services that's really tailored for the financial world.
So what kind of secret sauce are we talking about here?
Well, think about those pain points we all experience with financial transactions,
Oh, yeah.
like slow processing times or manual paperwork, delays in getting your money where it needs to go.
Right.
CAMS Pay is tackling all of that.
Okay, so give me an example.
Okay, so let's say you're investing in a mutual fund.
All right.
Traditionally, you have to fill out forms, wait for them to be processed, then wait even longer for your money to actually be credited to your account.
Right.
With CAMS Pay, they've streamlined that whole process.
Okay.
You can invest online, get your money credited the same day, and even see your NAV updated in real time.
And NAV,
Net asset value, basically the price of your mutual fund units.
got it. So it's all about speed and convenience.
right.
And transparency.
Exactly.
Okay, no wonder they're seeing so much growth.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just limited to mutual funds. They're expanding CAMS Pay into other areas too.
Yeah.
Like insurance premiums, loan repayments, even utility bills.
Wow.
It's becoming this comprehensive payment solution.
So they're basically aiming to become that go-to platform
They are.
for anything and everything related to money.
That's the goal.
Okay, but payments are just one piece of this puzzle, right?
One piece.
What about CAMBES, KRA, their KYC arm?
Right.
The one that handles all that identity verification stuff.
Exactly.
But isn't that a pretty standard service?
It is. But CAMBES is taking it to a whole new level.
Okay.
They're constantly innovating, making it faster, smoother, more user-friendly.
I'm listening.
Well, they've shrunk the entire KYC process down to just 10 minutes.
10 minutes, really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is, especially when you think about how long these things usually take.
How do they pull that off?
Well, they've really leveraged technology. They've automated a lot of those manual steps, digitized the documentation process. They even integrate with government databases to verify info in real time.
So it's all about cutting out that red tape
Yeah.
and making it easy for the customer.
Exactly. And here's another thing that I think is really cool. They're now offering KYC through WhatsApp.
You're kidding?
Nope, you can get your KYC done on WhatsApp.
No way.
They've partnered with WhatsApp to create this secure and convenient way for people to complete their KYC requirements right from their phones.
This is blowing my mind.
It's pretty innovative, right?
So they're dominating mutual funds.
Yeah.
They're revolutionizing payments.
Yeah,
They're streamlining KYC.
that's right.
Is there anything CAMS isn't good at?
Well, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
They definitely face some challenges.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about those later on. But for now, let's keep exploring this expanding empire of theirs.
Yeah.
We've talked about payments and KYC.
Right.
Now let's look at a lesser known but equally important part of their business.
You okay?
Alternative investment funds, or AIFs.
AIFs, I don't know much about those, to be honest.
Well, you're not alone. Most people don't. They're a little more complex than your typical mutual fund.
Okay.
But basically, they're investment funds that cater to high net worth individuals and institutional investors.
Okay.
Think of it as a way for those sophisticated investors to access a wider range of investment opportunities beyond just the stock market.
So where does CAMS fit into all of this?
Well, they've built this leading platform for AIFs, offering a whole suite of services to those fund managers and investors.
Okay.
They handle everything from, onboarding and fund administration to reporting and compliance.
So they're using that expertise and technology in a different part of the market.
Exactly. And it's a smart move because that AIF market is still pretty young in India,
Yeah.
but it's growing like crazy. You've got more and more wealthy individuals and institutions looking for those alternative investments. And CAMS is positioned perfectly to capture a big chunk of that market.
So they're not just riding the wave.
Right.
They're helping to create it.
That's a great way to put it. They're really shaping the future of finance in India.
Okay, so we've got payments, KYC, AIFs. I'm starting to get the picture here.
Yeah.
They're building this really diversified financial empire
They are.
and leveraging their technology and their expertise to reach a wider and wider audience.
You got it. And they're not stopping there. Remember that little hint the CEO dropped about international expansion?
Yeah, I was wondering when we'd get to that.
I figured you would.
Could CAMS actually become a global player?
That is the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And in the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore the risks and rewards of those global ambitions
Okay.
and what it could mean for the future of CAMS.
Sounds like we've got a lot more ground to cover. I'm ready when you are. All right, so we've explored CAMS' dominance in the world of mutual funds. Yeah.
They're pushing to payments and KYC,
Right.
and even their quiet success with these alternative investment funds, or AIFs.
It's been a fascinating journey so far.
It has, but there's one more piece of this puzzle that I think we really need to look at.
Okay.
And it's something that's becoming more and more important to investors.
You're talking about ESG,
ESG.
environmental, social, and governance factors.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a hot topic right now, and for good reason.
Yeah, it's not just a niche concern anymore.
Not at all. Investors are starting to realize that a company's ESG performance
Yeah.
can really impact their long-term sustainability and profitability.
It's not just about, feeling good about your investments.
Right.
It's about actually making smart decisions.
It's about the bottom line.
So where does CAMS stand on this?
Well, I've been looking into their reports and initiatives,
Okay.
and I gotta say, they're not just talking the talk. They're
Yeah.
actually walking the walk when it comes to ESG.
So give me the details.
Okay, let's start with E, the environmental side.
They're taking real steps to reduce that carbon footprint.
Like what kind of steps?
Well, they've got energy-efficient offices. They're trying to minimize waste, promote paperless operations, the whole 9 yards.
So they're trying to be as green as possible in their own operations?
Exactly. But it goes even further than that. They're encouraging employees to be eco-friendly in their personal lives, too.
Really?
They've got awareness campaigns, incentives for sustainable commuting,
Okay.
really trying to create that culture of responsibility.
That's really cool. I mean, it shows they're not just checking boxes. They're
That's-
actually trying to create a change in mindset.
Yeah, a real shift.
Okay, so that's the E. What about the S, the social?
Right. So KMS has this strong focus on diversity and inclusion,
Okay.
both within the company and in the communities they serve.
What kind of initiatives are we talking about here?
Well, they've implemented policies to make sure there are equal opportunities for all employees,
Okay.
regardless of gender background or ability.
That's good.
And they're actively promoting women's leadership,
Oh, wow.
providing training programs to help employees from diverse backgrounds really succeed.
So it's about like creating a level playing field.
Yeah.
And making everybody feel like they belong.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just their own employees, too. They're supporting a lot of social causes in the community,
Oh, cool.
partnering with NGOs, promoting education,
Mhm.
healthcare, financial inclusion.
I love to see a company that's not just focused on, making money, but
Right.
also giving back.
Absolutely. It's about making a positive impact.
Okay, so we've talked about E, we've talked about S. Let's tackle that G.
Okay. G for governance.
Governance.
And this is a big one,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the financial sector,
Yeah.
where trust and transparency are really crucial.
Right. You want to know your money's in good hands.
Exactly. And KMS has a long history of really strong corporate governance practices.
Okay, you're good.
Their board of directors is mostly independent members. So, they've got that objective oversight
Uh-huh.
and they've got a robust risk management framework.
Yeah.
They're really transparent in their financial reporting.
Yeah.
So investors have a really clear picture of their operations.
So they're doing all the right things when it comes to ESG.
They are.
But how does this translate into value for investors?
That's the key question, right?
Yeah.
Well, studies have shown that companies with strong ESG performance
Huh?
tend to do better than their competitors in the long run.
Okay.
They're often better managed, less risky, and they're more resilient when it comes to economic shocks.
So it's not just about feeling good, it's about a smart financial strategy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As more investors start prioritizing ESG,
Yeah.
companies like KMS that are leading the way are probably going to attract more capital and see their valuations go up.
So it's a win-win.
It is.
Good for the world, good for your portfolio.
Everyone benefits.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground today in this deep dive.
We have.
We've explored CAM's growth, their innovative solutions,
Yeah.
their competitive landscape, and even their commitment to ESG.
Yeah, I think we've gotten a good understanding of not just KMS, but also the big trends that are shaping the Indian financial services industry.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up here,
Okay.
what are your key takeaways? What should our listeners be paying attention to as they follow CAM?
Okay, well, first of all, CAM is a company that is constantly moving.
Right.
They're not just sitting back. They're innovating, expanding, pushing boundaries.
They're not afraid to disrupt things.
Absolutely. And second, they're playing the long game.
Yeah.
They're not just chasing those quick profits.
Yeah.
They're building a sustainable business based on trust, transparency, and really focusing on the customer.
And their commitment to ESG is a big part of that.
Huge part. It's woven into their strategy.
And finally, they're a global force to be reckoned with.
Yes, they are. And those international plans are definitely something to keep an eye on.
If you're looking for a company that's at the forefront of all this innovation and growth and responsibility, CAMS is definitely one to watch.
I agree.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into CAMS.
I hope you all enjoyed it.
We hope you enjoyed the journey. Knowledge is power, but understanding is wisdom.
Well said.
And that's what the deep dive is all about, helping you make sense of the world.
That's right.
One fascinating story at a time. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.